inner power. External ones deal with muscle, kicking, all that. Well, Silat is kind of a combination of both. So you want to still have that same kind of like inner power with the outer power. So you should be 50-50. Just moving with grace and power. And what we're doing is, guy does a shot, boom, boom, boom. You're just moving it with grace and power. How you devastate them is with Silat, though.
Okay.
You come in, boom. And it really shouldn't be a name. It's just moving. It's a universal thing. You're moving with grace and power.
I see.
Economy of motion, grace and power. Good. Let's try that again.
Hi, my name is Dylan Cole. Over the last year, I've been studying martial arts under Billy White, as well as exploring for myself various forms of meditation. As stated in the beginning, this is my journey to answer the question of what the connection between martial arts and meditation is. Before we get started, I would like to thank Billy White for mentoring me in martial arts. Without him, this would never have happened. I would also like to thank my mentor, Ted Box, for his wise words and stories in not only martial arts and meditation, but also in all aspects of life. What are the benefits of martial arts and meditation?
Well, there's a lot of benefits. First of all, for martial arts and meditation, I think they go hand in hand. It's physical conditioning. Your body is in pretty good shape. It's flexible. Your mind is disciplined through the meditation. You hone your mind, so you're not thinking all over the place. As far as martial art, because it's a disciplined movement, you have to train your mind to concentrate. So concentration is very important and stuff. 1, 2, 3, right there. Good. Hit me. Bang. Damn. Same with meditation. You have to have that one thought or no thoughts to be able to do meditation correctly, depending on the type of meditation that you're doing. So when you're doing martial arts, one of the main things is physical conditioning, mental conditioning, and spiritual conditioning. It's all kind of one and the same. So they're beneficial all the way. Most people start with martial arts because learn how to defend themselves. But so as you're doing that, you're conditioning your body. You're learning how to move in a disciplined way. That's all it is moving in a disciplined way. And how you have to do that is to have some kind of concentration. So the meditation helps with the concentration, but helps with your movement in your body.
What is the difference between a martial artist and just a fighter?
Martial artist is going to move in a disciplined way. He has certain training, and the training is a disciplined training. So let's say we'll use an analogy of a street brawler. He has a certain thing, he's just going to come out and brawl. A martial artist, based on his discipline, is going to move in a disciplined kind of way. I always say that a good martial artist is going to take out most good fighters, because he's moving in a disciplined way. And also it's a higher level as far as I'm concerned. A fighter is just going to be a fighter. A martial artist should be on a spiritual level, on a physical level, and on an emotional level. And I think that's more and more important. So there's definitely a world of difference between one and the other. Just a martial artist is going to move in a more disciplined way than a fighter. And sometimes a fighter can be a martial artist, but most, so they kind of overlap at times.
What's the difference between a meditator and somebody just sitting there?
Meditative, you're doing it's a conscious way of meditating. If you're just sitting there, your mind is going all over the place most of the time. Sometimes you can just be in a fog and just sit there. A meditative, you're doing something in a concentrated, disciplined way. So that's the major difference. You're doing it as a discipline, not just sitting there spacing out. It would be hard for me to do that straight, so I'm doing it straight. I can't, it's hard for me to do that. I go to this leg, and it's easy for me to do that. It's easy for me to do that. What about...
humans aren't the only martial artists, right?
No, all animals, all organisms have to defend themselves. Everything. A worm will try to get away. It's a form of defensive. It's a form of trying to defend its life. So all life sentient being, life forms, have a way of defending themselves or of attacking. When a hawk is coming after a bird or a rabbit, it's doing its form of martial arts. They don't call it martial arts, but that's what it's doing. You see two little bears or wolves or any animals, when they're coming up, they're always playing. They're grappling, they're rolling around. Two cats, when little kittens, they'll start to bite each other in a playful way. They'll start to roll around and everything. It's just their way of trying to get how they defend themselves and how they hunt together. So that's all it is. Everything about it's the same. See what I'm doing?
Yeah,
So I'm just that. So I'm gonna do that to you.
Okay.
Come closer. Okay. Now, too deep.
Is there a point of mastery in martial arts?
Never.
Never.
Is there a point of mastery in life? Never. When someone says they're a master, it's a misnomer. It's like, because as soon as you say you're a master, then you don't need to know anymore. You've mastered everything.
Right.
So why continue on? And like anything in life, there's always stages. You get to one stage and it's like, oh, I think I know it. And then all of a sudden, it's like, wow, you're just getting to one stage. There's a whole thing about a black belt, and this is my theory. Black belt, you start out with a white belt. Over the years, it got dirty, and it turned black. So that meant you were a black belt. But in most martial arts, when you get to a black belt, it's at the end of you've accomplished everything. As far as I'm concerned, it's just beginning. I'm constantly learning. I've been doing this for about 40 years, and I'm still learning. When I stop learning is when I die.
Is there a question that I should ask that I haven't?
Maybe you should ask yourself why you like martial arts. Why do you do the things that you do? As far as martial arts, what attracts you to it? And you should ask. Most of the time, I ask the people that I train, why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you want to learn this? Is it because someone beat you up and you want to be big and strong? Is it because you just want to learn how to move? Everybody has their own reasons. Why I did it, martial arts, is because I just wanted disciplined movement. I was bored and wanted to learn how to move well. I always could kind of fight, but doing it in a disciplined, martial way, it was a totally different thing. And then it got me in an aspect of meditation and the spirituality, because martial arts in general, really, when you get to a high level, most people start out learning how to defend themselves or how to fight. But then you get to a certain level, you want to learn how to heal people also. So it's the coin. One side is death, the other side is life. So you want to be able to balance the yin and yang between life and death. And that would be, to me, be a complete martial artist. And so you want to have that aspect, being learn how to defend yourself, and you also want to learn how to heal people. So your hands here. So 1, 2, 3, boom. You hit me, bang. What are you gonna do next? Around. We're gonna rock. Yes. And you want my head to turn like that. Right. That's just
A really awkward
position. And then really to end it, you want my head here and my body there. So it's only my neck supporting my body. This is how it should feel. I'm not gonna do it quite that. So here you're comfortable. Here you're not. And feel how your body is. I feel that your neck is supporting your body here, not your head. So if I really lift up hard, if I go, it's going to separate your spinal.
Not good for me.
Not good for you. It's not supposed to be good for you.
Right.
It's supposed to be a bad day.
But then they had a knife on you or something like that. It
was like a life or death situation. Right. I have to end this. Like the person it may not even be a knife. Maybe that this person is, whatever the situation is, my life is, I felt threatened for my life. And I have to act accordingly. It could be just a guy who's just in a rage. He's just coming and he's high or whatever. And I just have to know how to stop this guy and shut him down. Now, I don't want to do that. I really don't. And I would never say that, I want to go out there because, I have a conscience. And I don't want to have to take a life. So my main thing is to hopefully disarm him or immobilize him. But if I have no other choice than to do that, then I better know how to do that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's just that. Hopefully I haven't had to up to this point probably, and I don't think I ever will.
Is there a question that I shouldn't ask?
No, a question's a question. And when people say, well, that's a stupid question, there's no such thing as a stupid question. It's a stupid answer. And I that's my philosophy though. I know people that's just like, that's a stupid question. Nah, ask anything that you want.
Is there a question that I have asked that I should ask again?
Okay. Why do you do martial arts? Or ask me why do I do martial arts? I don't think you've ever asked me why I started in martial arts. That could be an interesting question because I'm sharing with you, I would say, my experiences and how I move and how I feel other people move. And I don't think you've ever asked me why did I start doing martial arts, which was interesting. Not that big of a deal one way or the other, but if I go if I'm training with somebody, I would say, like, what got you into this? Why did you start? Because you want to know his or her lineage and what was going through their mind when you started. It may be similar, it may be not, and it's always interesting. But very few people ask me why I started, which is interesting.
Is there an answer that I don't have that I should have?
There's always going to be answers that you don't have, and the more answers that you don't have, the more you'll try to express yourself to try to find those questions, find those answers. So it's not an answer, it's the question. You got to ask the right question to get the answer. So I'll do to you like that. I won't take it out. Big here. So what I'm going to do is twist and pull, feel like right there.
Yeah.
2 motions, but it's a downward spiral also. So it's just not horizontally, it's like I'm twisting you down.
Explain your meditation.
There's all kind of meditations for all kind of situations, for all kind of life situations, for all kind of reasons. There's 2 that I'm currently focusing on, actually 3. One of them is called Yoga Nidra, and it's called the yoga of deep conscious sleep. And it's what they call, you do it laying down. And what it does is shut your body down where you're in a deep relaxation, but your mind is still conscious. So the hottest thing is, for me on that particular meditation, is that I fall asleep. And that's not the point. The point is to stay conscious, even though your body is kind of in a sleep mode.
Right.
And it's so hard. It's just a very, very challenging meditation for me. And everybody that I give this meditation to, because it's on CD form, you put your headphones on, most of them fall asleep. But it's you don't need sleeping pills. You put this on, you're out cold and stuff. And it takes a lot of discipline to be able to stay conscious through the whole meditation. Most of the time I'll fall asleep and I'll wake up near the end and it's like, I didn't even know I fell asleep. So it also shows you in this particular meditation how most of us are sleeping as we're waking. So the other one, next one I'm doing, is one called Dr. Wright's cleaning out process. And what it is that it goes through all the organs in your body. It helps flush them out, which I think is very, very interesting. And it's back from the 40s where this African American scholar was in an ambassador service. He went to Burma and he got into doing meditation in the Tibetan monks for 2 years before he got sent back to the United States. And so it's an interesting meditation. The third one that I'm doing is called bone marrow meditation. So you're breathing with your bone marrow, which is very, very powerful. Bone marrow is actually a living thing. Bones are not just hard and everything. All the blood cells, all the life force comes through the bones. So it's showing you how to breathe with your bone, with your whole skeleton, which is very, very interesting and very, very hard and very, very powerful. So you kind of have to be careful with it. So those are the 3 that I'm currently doing.
What is the difference between the mind and the brain?
The brain is like a computer. The mind is more. It's not where the soul's at, but it's just a totally different. Now that kind of threw me. I actually know the difference. We'll just say that the car is the brain. It's the actual functioning motor that makes everything go. The mind is the driver. That's the best analogy that I can come up with on the spot. Brain is the car. It makes sure it functions and everything does its thing. It's a computer. The mind is the driver behind it. It's the soul behind directing the computer.
The project that I'm doing for school is coming to an end, but the project that I've taken on is just beginning.
It's if you stay with it, it's a lifetime journey. It really, really is. I'm 60 years old, and I've been doing this for about 40 years. When I was your age, 17, I always wanted to do martial arts. They had the Kung Fu movies on TV, so that's what everybody kind of gets into. Right. And then when I had a chance to do it, it was like, oh my gosh. And then as the years went on and I stayed with it, on and on and on, and all of a sudden you reach a certain point where you're like, oh, I'm kind of good at this, you know, and then you reach a certain point where like, well, it doesn't make a difference. It's a lifestyle, and that's what I do. I just keep on and on and on, and you can. It's so fascinating. Some of the people that you meet, some of the knuckleheads that you meet, and everything else and stuff. So, but you're coming at it in a way that very few people do come at it. You're coming at it in a meditative way. There's also a martial way, and I think that's a good balance. You have the softness with the meditation, which can be very, very hard. And then you have the martial. I'd rather sit up there and do martial stuff than try to meditate sometimes because it's so hard for me. There was a meditation, I hate to take this away from you, but I'm not. There was this meditation called standing meditation where you just stand there and try to still your mind. And all of a sudden I'd have these like dreams when I'm standing there. And I'd be going off and all of a sudden I have to catch myself, whoa, because the mind doesn't want to still. They call it the 12 monkeys. It's all over the place. It doesn't want to do that. So it's very, very, very hard.
Yeah, there's this book called The Way of the Peaceful Warrior.
Yes, I have that.
And it talks about where it explores sort of the mind and how it's a very elusive thing to try to control, and it's not, and it's also in a way not a good thing to let control
Yes.
you.
Yes.
And so it's a very powerful sort of